Welcome everyone in the next lecture on Fourier series. In the previous online lecture, we have started with the topic half range sine and half range cosine series. In the previous lecture, we studied one problem based on the half range sine series. In this lecture, we are going to see a problem based on the half range cosine series. Let's begin with the problem. Okay, the question is find half range cosine series for f of x is equal to x 0 less than x less than 2, and using the Parseval's identity, prove that number 1, pi raised to 4 by 96 is equal to 1 upon 1 raised to 4 plus 1 upon 3 raised to 4 plus 1 upon 5 raised to 4 plus and so on. And the number 2 is pi raised to 4 by 90 is equal to 1 upon 1 raised to 4 plus 1 upon 2 raised to 4 plus 1 upon 3 raised to 4 plus and so on. Okay, so these two deductions we have to find out. But before that, we have to calculate the half range cosine series for the function f of x is equal to x. Okay, let's begin with this. What is the formula for the half range cosine series? A half range cosine series of a function f of x in the interval 0, L is given by a0 plus summation n runs from 1 to infinity into cos n pi x upon L, and where the function is defined in the interval 0 to L. Now just have a look on the problem and you can conclude the value of L is 2 here. Okay, so here L is equal to 2. Now what is a0? The formula for a0 is 1 upon L integration from 0 to L f of x dx. Substitute the value of L here, 1 by 2 integration from 0 to 2 into f of x. In the interval 0 to 2, the value of f of x is x. Now what is the integration of x? It is x square upon 2. Limits from 0 to 2. Okay, so now one can take 1 by 2 outside, so 1 by 2 into 1 by 2 becomes 1 by 4. For the upper limit 2, we have 2 square, that is 4. Okay, and for the lower limit it is 0. So 4 minus 0 is 4, and 1 by 4 into 4 gives us 1. So what is the value of a0 here? a0 is 1. Are you clear with this? Now we are going to find out the value of an. Yeah, looking at the function and the interval, the problem is much simple for evaluation because we have done this type of problems many times. Okay, in this problem, these prove that statements are very important for us. Okay, so that's why I'm going to discuss this problem. An. What is an? An is equal to 2 upon L integration from 0 to L f of x into cos n pi x upon L dx. Now the value of L is 2. So when I substitute 2 here, we get 2 upon 2 integration from 0 to 2 x into cos of n pi x divided by 2 into dx. The 2 upon 2 gives us 1. Now the integration of x into cos, so integration by parts, we get x as it is. Integration of cos is a sine n pi x upon 2 divided by n pi by 2. Next term is minus, derivative of x will be 1. Now integration of this entire term, so n pi by 2 will be continued here. Integration of sine n minus n pi x upon 2 is, the integration of sine is minus cos n pi x upon 2 divided by n pi by 2. Integration from 0 to 2, hence the limits are from 0 to 2 here. Okay, now We'll simplify this and then substitute the upper and lower limits. So we have 2 upon n pi into x into sine n pi x divided by 2. N pi by 2 into n pi by 2 becomes n square pi square upon 2 square, that is 4. But this term is in denominator, taking in the numerator we get 4 upon n square pi square. Now this minus and minus become plus into cos n pi x divided by 2. Limits from 0 to 2. Okay. Now just come to this. Upper limit is 2. When I substitute 2 here, we get 2 upon 2 get cancelled. That means I am getting here only sin n pi, and sin n pi is always 0. So for upper limit, the first term is 0 plus 4 upon n square pi square as it is. We substitute 2 here, 2 upon 2 get cancelled, we get cos n pi. Cos n pi is minus 1 raised to n. Minus lower limit. The lower limit is 0. When I substitute 0 here or 0 here, both the terms are going to be 0, hence entire term is 0. Plus, when I substitute 0 at this place, we get cos 0. Cos 0 is 1. So hence we get 4 upon n square pi square. Hence n is equal to 4 upon n square pi square into minus 1 raised to n minus minus 4 upon n square pi square. Is it okay? Now what I am going to do is, I am taking 4 upon n square pi square outside. Hence inside of the bracket we get minus 1 raised to n minus 1. So hence here an is equal to 4 upon n square pi square into bracket minus 1 raised to n minus 1. Now in all previous problems, what we do is we directly substitute the values of an and a naught in the Fourier series expansion formula. That means we substitute here and then we expand the summation. But in this problem, I am trying in a different way. I just like to define the values of an for n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this. Okay. And then we would like to write the Fourier series expansion. Is this clear? Now, n is 4 upon n square pi square into bracket minus 1 raised to n minus 1 is equal to. Now just have a look. We are going to select the values of n right from 1, 2, 3 and so on like this. So when n is a 1, we get minus 1 raised to 1, which provides me minus 1. So minus 1 becomes minus 2. Okay. Now when n becomes 2, we get minus 1 square. So hence this term is a plus 1. So plus 1 minus 1 becomes a 0. 0 into this is 0. So that means for n is equal to 2, we get a 0 here. Now for n is equal to 3, minus 1 cube is again minus 1. So minus 1 into minus 1 gives minus 2 for this particular bracket. Next value of n is a 4. So when I substitute n equal to 4 here, we get minus 1 raised to 4 is a plus 1 and 1 minus 1 becomes a 0. That means if you just see towards the values of n, for n is a odd number, that is 1, 3, 5 and so on, we get minus 2 at this place, and when n is a even number, this particular term, that means this particular bracket is going to be a 0. Hence your n is 0 for n is a even number. Hence we can write the value of an as 4 upon n square pi square into minus 2, that is minus 8 upon n square pi square if n is odd number, and is equal to 0 if n is even number. I hope this idea is clear to everyone. Now the half range cosine series of the given function x is equal to a naught plus summation an, n runs from 1 to infinity, cos n pi x upon 2 can be expressed as 1 plus summation. Now see, I am going to select only odd places terms, hence here I'll write 2n minus 1 to infinity. The value of an is minus 8 upon n square pi square cos n pi x upon 2. Okay, instead of writing 2n minus 1, what I write? N is equal to 1 to infinity, where n takes only odd number. Hence, we can write this as 1, this minus 8 upon pi square outside, inside of the bracket 1 upon 1 square into cos pi x upon 2 plus 1 upon 3 square into cos 3 pi x upon 2 plus 1 upon 5 square into cos 5 pi x upon 2 plus and so on. Okay, now we have to go for 2 more deductions. The first deduction is this: 5 raised to 4 by 96 is equal to 1 upon 1 raised to 4 plus 1 upon 3 raised to 4 plus 1 upon 5 raised to 4 plus and so on. And the second deduction which is expected is pi raised to 4 by 90 is equal to 1 upon 1 raised to 4 plus 1 upon 2 raised to 4 plus 1 upon 3 raised to 4 plus 1 upon 4 raised to 4 plus and so on. Now how to perform this? Already they expressed, use the Parseval's identity, of course. Now why to use the Parseval's identity? Just have a look at the n term. When n is an odd number, see here I am required 1, 3, 5, that means n should be an odd number, that's clear. Now but here in an we have the n square term and here raised to 4, that means we require the square of n. Of course we are going for the Parseval's identity, no doubt. But the question comes for the second statement or second deduction. Why? See, here we have the odd places terms 1, 3, 5 like that. But here we have even terms also 2, 4, 6 like that. That is 1 upon raised to 4, 1 upon 2 raised to 4, 1 upon 3 raised to 4. That means these terms are added somewhere here. So we have to think very carefully while proving the second one. Okay, so that's why I told this problem is important from the deduction point of view. Okay, now move to the deduction. So first I will write the means we would like to prove the first deduction. So to prove pi raised to 4 by 96 is equal to 1 upon 1 raised to 4 plus 1 upon 3 raised to 4 plus 1 upon 5 raised to 4 plus and so on. Okay, now the proof is very simple. By the Parseval's identity, 1 upon L integration from 0 to L f of x square dx is equal to a naught square plus 1 by 2 summation n square. N runs from 1 to infinity. Okay, now first of all we have to calculate the value of LHS. What is LHS? 1 upon L integration from 0 to L f of x square dx. The L is a value 2. So 1 by 2 integration from 0 to 2 x. F of x is x and its square we are going to take. So we have x square here. So integration of x square dx is equal to, the integration is quite simple, x cube upon 3, limits from 0 to 2. 1 by 3 is a constant I am taking outside, so we get 1 by 6 outside. Then inside of the bracket 2 cube minus 0. What is 2 cube? 8. 8 minus 0 is, there is a 1 by 6 outside. Hence we have 8 by 6. 8 by 6 means? Yes, can you tell me what is 8 by 6? Or as that is simplified version, it is 4 by 3. So the value of LHS is 4 by 3. Now what I am going to do here is, though we modified the value of an previously, that means this. I just like to use the actual value of n which we calculated. See, this value we adjusted according to the value of this bracket, no doubt. This is correct. But while finding the particular deduction, I am just going to use this one. Okay. Therefore, I call here equation number 2. Okay, that Fourier series expansion which we obtained here will be called as the number 1. Okay. Now, substitute these values in the 2. So from 2 we get, okay, we call this as 3, and that value 2, 3, and from the value of an, what we get? LHS is 4 by 3 is equal to a naught square, that is 1 square, plus 1 by 2 summation n runs from 1 to infinity. An square, what is the value of an? 4 upon n square pi square into minus 1 raised to n minus 1 and its square. Okay. Now, so 1 square will shift it to the left side. So we have 4 by 3 minus 1 is equal to 1 by 2. Okay, we will expand this. Okay, we'll go for this squaring first. N runs from 1 to infinity. 4 square upon n raised to 4 pi raised to 4 into bracket minus 1 raised to n minus 1 bracket square. Now here 4 square upon pi raised to 4 is a constant, we take it outside, and this is cross multiplication, we get 4 minus 3, 1 by 3 here. So 1 by 2 into 4 square upon n raised to 4 into bracket. For n is equal to 1, we have 1 upon 1 raised to 4, and when I substitute n as a 1 here, we have minus 1 minus 1, that is minus 2 square, that is 4, plus for n is equal to 2, this bracket is going to be a 0. For n is equal to 3, minus 1 cube, that is minus 1, and this minus 1 becomes minus 2, and minus 2 square is 4. So 1 upon 3 raised to 4 into 4. Plus next term is 0, next is 1 upon 5 raised to 4 into 4, plus and so on. Okay, now one can take 4 as a common. Okay, I am missing one term here, this is pi raised to 4. Okay, so we are taking 4 common now, so which gives us 1 by 2 pi raised to 4 raised to 4 square into 4 divided by pi raised to 4 into bracket 1 upon 1 raised to 4 plus 1 upon 3 raised to 4 plus 1 upon 5 raised to 4 plus and so on. Okay. Now, whatever the term we have here, we shift it to the right hand side. But before we shift, we make a simplification here. So 2 2s are 4. So 4 square, that is 16. 16 2s are 32. And 32 3s are, that is 96. Okay, so we are getting this term. Anyways, while taking this term to the left, we have pi raised to 4 divided by 4 square, that is 16 into 2. It's 32. Is equal to 1 upon 1 raised to 4 plus 1 upon 3 raised to 4 plus 1 upon 5 raised to 4 plus and so on. Okay. Now, so this gives us pi raised to 4 by 96 is equal to 1 upon 1 raised to 4 plus 1 upon 3 raised to 4 plus 1 upon 5 raised to 4 plus and so on. Okay. So this is our first deduction. Now the second one, to prove. What is to be proved here? Pi raised to 4 by 90 is equal to 1 upon 1 raised to 4 plus 1 upon 2 raised to 4 plus 1 upon 3 raised to 4 plus 1 upon 5 raised to 4 plus and so on. 4 raised to 4 plus 1 upon 5 raised to 4 plus and so on. Now just compare these two. Here we have 1 upon 1 raised to 4, 2 raised to 4, 3 raised to 4, 4 raised to 4, 5 raised to 4. That means even, odd and even, all the terms are present. Odd and even places terms are present, and here only odd terms are present, 1, 3, 5 like that. Not places, odd terms are present, and here even and odd, all the terms are present. That means here n will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this, and here n is 1, 3, 5. Now we can say, to prove this, we just call the right hand side of this as say capital S. Okay, the right hand side is called as a capital S. Now we can take this particular summation outside from this. That means what I'm doing is I'm taking those terms together where you at the denominator you observe the odd terms, and those terms together where we observe the even term. So 1 upon 1 raised to 4 plus 1 upon 3 raised to 4 plus 1 upon 5 raised to 4 plus and so on. These terms I'm taking together, and the remaining ones are 1 upon 2 raised to 4 plus 1 upon 4 raised to 4 plus 1 upon 6 raised to 4 plus and so on in the second bracket. Is it okay? Now, but see here, this is nothing but pi raised to 4 by 96. Substitute here pi raised to 4 by 96. Now see, these all are even terms, is it? So one can take 1 upon 2 raised to 4 common from here. So in the first place we get 1, but 1 can be written as 1 upon 1 raised to 4. Now 1 upon 4 raised to 4 can be written as 1 upon 2 raised to 4 into 2 raised to 4. See now, 1 upon 4 raised to 4 means what? 2 into 2 raised to 4, which is nothing but 1 upon 2 raised to 4 into 1 upon 2 raised to 4. Now what about 1 upon 6 raised to 4, which can be written as 1 upon 3 into 2 raised to 4, that is 1 upon 3 raised to 4 and 1 upon 2 raised to 4. So from all I am taking 1 upon 2 raised to 4 common. So while taking 1 upon 2 raised to 4 common, what is there inside of the bracket? So here in the first term we get 1 upon 1 raised to 4. Okay, at the first place we get only 1, but 1 can be written as 1 upon 1 raised to 4. Plus, when I am taking 1 upon 2 raised to 4 common from here, that means one of them is going out. So we get 1 upon 2 raised to 4. For 6, we have this term. I am taking 1 upon 2 raised to 4 outside. That means remain is 1 upon 3 raised to 4. So what about next? Can you imagine? Yes, it is 1 upon 4 raised to 4 plus and so on like this. Which this is nothing but your S. See, your S is this. Okay. Yes, exactly. I hope you get an idea what exactly going here. So S is equal to pi raised to 4 by 96 plus 1 upon 2 raised to 4 into S. I am taking this S to the left side. Yeah, but 2 raised to 4 is 16. So S minus S by 16 is equal to pi raised to 4 by 96. So 16S minus 1, that is 15S. So this gives us 16S minus 1. Yes, that is 15S divided by 16 is equal to pi raised to 4 by 96. Okay, rearranging the terms, I am taking this to the left. That gives 4 pi raised to 4 by 96 is equal to 15S upon 96. Oh, sorry, not 96, it is 16. Now 15 upon 16 will take to the left. We will have pi raised to 4 by 96 into 16 divided by 15 is equal to S. So which gives us 16 6 that is 96. Is it? So 15 6 90 is equal to S, and S is nothing but your 1 upon 1 raised to 4 plus 1 upon 2 raised to 4 plus 1 upon 3 raised to 4 plus 1 upon 4 raised to 4 plus and so on, which is your second deduction. Okay, So sometimes you must be very cautious about what is asked in the question. Accordingly, you try to answer the given question. Okay, so you need to analyze what is expected there. So initially I have just analyzed that I am able to get this value. Okay, as once I calculated the value of n, I analyzed, okay, first deduction is possible, let's do it, and then I think about the second deduction. And for the second deduction, what I'm taken as an advantage, its right hand side I taken as an advantage, I call it as s, and divided this into two parts. One is a even and odd terms sections. Okay, and then I derive this final answer. Okay, so this is all about the problem based on the half range cosine series. So this is all about your Fourier series chapter. Whatever the expected in the syllabus, I have covered all the points. Still, if you are having some doubt, you can post it on the WhatsApp or the email. And we are going to conduct a small class test on the coming Friday. Thank you.